what would you say is maybe the most impactful or enjoyable part of the book that you feel like your readers would get the most out of?
Okay, so the first six chapters they're pretty short, and they lay a foundation, and I think they're a great setup for where you get to chapter seven, because then you start getting into the meat. And
Mm,
chapter seven is the claim vaccines save millions of lives a year in America, right? And we just go through the data, and it's just like it's so easy. Okay, what? How many people did die of measles in the years before there were vaccine in America? And what was the decline? And what was was there a decline before that? And what was that trend line? Like, let's just look at that in those numbers. Was it millions? Was it hundreds of thousands? Was it tens of thousands? Right? And we just go vaccine by vaccine. I try to make it fun. If you've read the book, you know. Um, but I think to me that's the juice. I mean that really gets interesting. So I do that in chapter seven, and then the holy grail of, well, everybody has to get them or else you know
right.
it'll spread. That's chapter nine, and I think that's really interesting because you find out, oh my gosh, most of them don't stop transmission, right? You're like, holy cow. And then chapter 10 is where we get to the clinical trials we just talked about, which I think
Love that.
is devastating. It's not just the lack of safety in them. You can see the pyramid scheme where they are causing more and more harm with each iteration,
Wow.
but yet they obfuscate that by never using a proper baseline of safety. And I think that becomes very clear in chapter 10.
Wow.
Chapter 11 goes through the post-licensure safety, which I think is fascinating material too. And I tell it through the lens of some of the legal battles I've been through and so forth. So I think it makes it really interesting.